Travelers, are you flying to the Philippines anytime soon, or from the Philippines you would like to fly for a vacation to another country? Let us get to know the reason why a family member missed their long-planned flight due to long immigration line. What happened? Let us get to know more about the details regarding the shared experience from one of our fellow men or kababayan. Watch this video and find out. Disclaimer: the intention of this segment is to share personal experiences from our kababayans and not to support any actions or messages that may promote hate, violence, or discrimination. My hope is that by sharing the experiences or your experiences as a subscriber and traveler will provide clarification, thoughtful discussion, and understanding to other viewers. As a society, we must work towards finding constructive and peaceful ways to address our concerns towards positive change. Hi travelers, welcome back to another episode of Jamey Iris TALK TV. Today, let's talk about the shared experience from our fellow men, our kababayan, and a subscriber. They actually shared about their experience as a family of what happened to their long-time flight, and they were traveling not only as a couple but with the children. How long was the queue? What time did they arrive in the airport? How long did they queue or line up before they actually passed through the immigration? What had happened? Let us get to know the full story about this experience of one of our kababayan so that we can learn something from it, and hopefully, of course, you will not experience the same. But for the meantime, let us just simply say thank you to our viewer or our subscriber, Carl's Lim, for sharing to us your experience. Now, Carl's said, relate much ako diyan. I can really relate to that. He was pertaining about our recent video vlog regarding the long queue for immigration, the common complaints of the travelers in the past few days, why they missed their flights or they got left behind by their flights. Now, Carl Slim said they can really relate to that simply because during the time that they will be traveling to another country, the check-in gates opened late. So let me read it in Tagalog and I'll translate it also in English so for our foreign viewers can also relate and understand what actually had happened. Relate much ako diyan. Late na nag-open ng check-in. February 6 kami ng flight. Haba ng pila. 8:30 p.m. nag-open ang check-in. 9 na sa immigration na kami. Quarter to 11, nasa pila pa rin kami sa immigration 11 p.m. ang flight. Grabe ang experience namin. Kawawa ang mga bata, nagtatatakbo pa kami sa gate para makaabot kami. Dulo pa naman ang gate 15 going to Taiwan. Let me translate to you what Carl said in English, especially to our foreign viewers. Carl said, I can really relate to that. The check-in counters of the airlines usually opens late. Last February 6, during our flight, the line was so long and the counter for the airlines actually opened at 8:30 p.m. And by 9 p.m., we were able to go to immigration. Now, from 9 p.m. to quarter to 11, we were still queuing up in the immigration. And our flight was supposed to be 11 p.m. So what had happened? Quarter to 11, we ran to the gate so that we could catch up with our flight. We had children with us, and gate 15 was so far. It was really difficult for the children. I feel so bad for them simply because they have to run fast to a far away boarding gate. But then, Carl said in Tagalog first, Pero di kami pa rin umabot, naiwan na kami ng eroplano. Sobrang disappointed kami dahil tagal naming inantay ang flight namin. July 2022 pa nakabook. Tapos may iwan kami ng eroplano. Aga namin sa airport, 6 p.m. pa lang, andun na kami. Let me translate this again in English. Even if we ran too fast to the boarding gate, sad to say, we were left behind by our flight. We were not able to get on board. We were so disappointed simply because we were waiting for this for a very long time. Since July 2022, that was the time when we actually booked this. Then we will just be left behind by our flight. We were so early at the airport. At 6 p.m., we were already there. But then again, just like what Carl Slim had mentioned, due to the long queue in the immigration, that was the reason why they were left behind by their flight. Carl, thank you so much for sharing to us your family's experience. I'm really sorry to hear you were not able to board the flight for your vacation on that day. What happened? Tell us, hoping that you were able to still take your vacation, maybe the next day or for the next flight. So tell us so that at least we also know. But then again, just imagine, we can really relate to Carl's experience simply because no one, no family actually would like to miss a flight, especially just like what they've said. They planned it for a long time. Imagine July 2022. So travelers, kababayan, and foreign nationals, so this is something that you should take into consideration, especially if you will be departing for your flight from the Philippines to the other countries or to your country of destination. Please allot plenty of time before your flight so that you will not miss your flight. Though, just like what I've shared in my other video, the MIAA or the personnel or the officers from the Ninoy International Airport are taking into consideration of increasing the number of Bureau of Immigration personnel in different counters. They will also talk to airlines to open their counters earlier, especially this week, everyone, from March 6 to, let us just say 12, but keep your eyes and ears updated because they said the transportation strike will only be like a week long, but should it prolong, we hope not. So you have to travel way earlier than 3 hours before your flight. So make it 4 hours. If you have that luxury, at least 5 hours. I know it's quite long, but then again, if you don't have your own private vehicle, so you really have to take plenty of time so that at least you can fly in time and you can board your flight. But looking forward that the action plan that the MIAA, the airport in charge, will actually help speed up the immigration process so that, or the processes, so that at least no travelers will miss their flight due to long queue. So to all travelers looking forward, if you'll be flying from the Philippines, or again, it could also be in other countries. It also is the same because you'll never know how long the line in immigration will be and how many passengers will be flying on the day that you will be flying either from the Philippines to another country or from another country to the Philippines or other destination. So you simply have to allot ample time, or let's just say long hours, arrive early in the airport so that you will have greater chances of boarding your flight. In the situation of course, Lim and family, they actually arrived in the airport on time, but it just so happened that the queue in the airport immigration during that time in the international airport was really so long. Imagine, Carl Slim and family arrived at 6 p.m. So this means Carl Slim with the children as well. Now, from 6 p.m., the airline's counter actually opened at 8:30 p.m. So with a 30 minutes processing for check-in, they queued up already at the immigration at 9 p.m. 9 p.m., until quarter to 11, and at 10:45, that was the time that they finished or completed their process in the immigration. So it only left them 15 minutes to actually run as fast as they could with the children along with them to the boarding gate to Taiwan, and that's gate 15. So just like what was described by our fellow man or the traveler, it was a bit far away gate. So it means that they really have to hurry up for them to catch the flight. But if the flight is at 11 p.m., so meaning the gates had closed earlier. So even if they reached at 11 p.m., they missed their flight. They were left behind already by their flight. So it's quite disheartening and so sad simply because they planned it since July 2022. So what can we do? So this is what you can do the next time. So looking forward that Carl, Slim, and family were still able to enjoy Taiwan for maybe the other day because this long time planned vacation is something that is anticipated by the whole family. So Carl, Slim, tell us, let us know. So were you able to fly the next day with your family to Taiwan? Let me share to you a few tips on how you can reach your boarding gate on time and to avoid being left behind by your flight. Number 1, arrive at the airport early, meaning to arrive at the airport 3 hours or more. Again, depends on the distance where you will be traveling from. So please ensure that you arrive at the airport as early as you can. Number 2, once you're at the airport, make sure that you find your airline counter and line up as early as you can, even if the counter has not yet opened. Number 3, now this is something that you can do prior going to the airport or a day before your flight. That is to register or to check in online. If you will use the check-in facility of your airlines, then it means that you simply have to drop off your bag once you check in at the airline counter. Number 4, immediately proceed to the immigration counter. And number 5, please try to find the location of your boarding gate first before you go to the other shops, because once you know where your boarding gate is, so it's easy for you to find it when it's time, right? And be at the boarding gate earlier than when you are needed, so that it will be ensured that you will not be left behind by the flight, and keep yourself updated with what is flashed, okay, on the airport screen, flight schedule, because sometimes, the boarding gate changes, right? So to avoid being left behind by your flight, so please ensure to always check the flight schedule information from the airport to ensure that you are waiting at the boarding gate where your flight actually is. Because I'm telling you, it happens especially when there are storms, whether it's a snowstorm or a natural like storm. Sometimes it happened already to me, but I'll share that to you in my other videos. But yes, so it's very important that you are waiting at the boarding gate where your flight is actually is. Because it's so sad if you're waiting at the boarding gate and your flight was transferred to another gate. So always check, always ensure, especially the people around you, and look for the ground staff or the airline staff who's there, and always ask, what flight is this? Is this flight QR? And then you just simply ask them. It's better to double check than be sorry at the end, right? So these are some tips that I have for you so that you will not miss your flight at the boarding gate. And again, looking forward, what Slim and family experience is something that you won't experience. We are counting on what the MIAA officers had told us they will do to avoid such situation or inconvenience to all travelers like you and me. So 1, they said they will increase the number of counters open in the immigration so that at least the processing for travelers in the immigration area will be faster. Number two, they also said that they will talk to the airlines so that they can open their counters earlier than 3 hours or earlier than when they usually open their counters. Because just like what happened to Carslim and family, they were there early, 6 p.m., but they cannot check in until the airline counter was open at 8:30 p.m. But if the counters of the airlines open earlier, then that will be quite great. At least, Carslim and family would have been processed in immigration faster and they could have reached the boarding gate faster. So it's a chain reaction, everyone. So it's, if one process is delayed, then it means that the next process or the next step is affected as well. So it's better to be efficient early so that at least you have time, because you'll never know, right, what could possibly happen in the next few minutes in the airport. So it's always good to be one step ahead as much as you can. Now, with the promise, of course, of the airport officials that they will improve the condition of the NAIA terminals in Manila. Now, what else? The e-gates. So again, everyone, if you know how to use the e-gates, use the e-gates. It's faster. According to them, it's only 12 to 15 seconds. Once you place your passport, you will be processed within 12 to 15 seconds is what they mentioned. And then you're done with the processing or immigration if you use the e-gate. So hoping that there will be plenty of space to queue up for the e-gates. What else? So far, that's what they said. So looking forward, please keep us updated, mga kabayan, so that at least we know then what is happening when you travel. So looking forward that no one else will be left behind in your respective flights once you fly from the Philippines or if you're in other airports. So with that, everyone, so looking forward that the shared experience from our Kabayan, Carslim, and of course, some of the tips that I had given had helped you so that you can avoid missing your flight. So once again, everyone, my name is Jamey Iris. I'm your Talk TV show host. If you find this video helpful and informative, please click like, and I'm inviting you to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell and that subscribe button. You may also follow me on my FB page and TikTok account. So with that, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you for joining me in Let's Talk with Jamey Iris. If you have experiences that you want to share to our fellow travelers or fellow kababayans or fellow man, please drop it in the comment boxes so that we could share it to our viewers and they could learn from your experiences. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Again, may God bless you, stay safe, and stay healthy.